We're back again to play some games. We are back, and it's Sunday, which means it's Sunday Seduction, a series on my channel where I play a random otome game. You guys have been asking me to play this one, and today's the day. So before we start, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my social media, it's always description below, and we can get started. Prologue, right? Yep. And if I remember correctly, because I already did Vampire and Sengoku, the prologues are pretty long, so we definitely won't get through the whole thing. Oh wow, they upped the graphics. Have you ever dreamed of a love as sweet and delicate as candy? Not really. What about love as bitter or unsweetened tea? Or as tangy and sharp as a citrus fruit? The world has always been full of love stories, each one a little different in its own way. I've read so many of them, but each time I was reminded that I've never known what it's like to love someone like that. Me neither. Most people my age had already fallen in love, gotten married, and started their own families. And sometimes I envied that. Sometimes I wonder if it was time to stop dreaming about that sort of desperate love that makes you want to sacrifice everything. And yet, I was spending another day reading, another day yearning for a love so all-consuming, you risk your life to hold on to it. Yeah, don't think I would. That was so amazing. The bookstore was quieter than usual that afternoon, and I sighed happily as I closed the book I'd been reading. And there's no customers either. I mean, having no customers is kind of a problem, but it means I get to read more of a... You were real close. Did you finish your book, Lauren? What? I jumped a mile as a sudden shadow fell across the counter in front of me. Don't sneak up on me like that. Wait, Rio? Don't sneak up on me, Rio. What are you doing here? You work here? Are you my friend? Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I want to see you, so here I am. That's okay. I don't mind, but shouldn't you be at work? Okay. I wish I could do that. Oh, that? Yeah. I quit the day before yesterday. Right. Of course you... Wait, you quit? Yep. So now I'm searching for an even better job. Right. Again? We've had a similar conversation a few months earlier, and a few months before that, and I had to admit, I was a little worried. I just don't get it. You're good with your hands, you learn fast, and you're so friendly. Sure, you're clumsy sometimes, but... So, why did you quit this time? Am I messing up your employment? Is that an excuse? Isn't it obvious? Because I belong to you. Since when? Boy, if you ain't bringing in any money, I don't want you. Ever since the day you saved me, I decided to devote myself to you, body and soul. But that means I can't really work for anyone else. So what you're really saying is, you don't want to tell me why you quit. I never forget the day 3 years earlier, when I found Rio passed out on the street in the pouring rain and taken him in. And I'll never regret it. You're a good friend, but sometimes it feels like a big cuddly puppy imprinted on me that day. Hey, I'm 100% serious here. Which reminds me, is Donna here today? Boy, you'll distract me. I don't want you here. I want to talk to him directly about letting me work here with you. I'm sure I can convince him this time. This time? You've done this before? I hate to tell you this, but but he left yesterday on another trip to get more stock. He's not gonna be back for ages.
そんな。
Oh no. Now what am I gonna do? I knew I should suggest that he finds a different job, but he looks like a puppy who'd just been kicked, and I couldn't do that. Boy, go find another job. You look like you make a good, Starbucks worker. I can imagine your little green apron. Look at you. It fits you already. Okay, so maybe you can't talk to him directly right now, but why don't we write him a letter about it?
いいの?
What? Really? Yes, really. Honestly. I could do with the extra help, especially when he comes back with boxes and boxes of new books.
ありがとう。俺、今度から君のことはご主人様って呼ぶね。
Please don't. Just call me Lauren. Lauren, thank you. You do so much for me, and then that settles it. I'm gonna call you mistress from now on. Okay, now you're taking it too. Ooh, it scared me. Thought that was a sick cat. I cut myself off mid-sentence. Or rather, my stomach cut me off. That was my stomach? Okay. Or rather, my stomach cut me off by loudly announcing how empty it was. You didn't hear that, did you? Of course you did. Go give me some food.
でも安心して。俺、君のことは何でもお見通しなんだ。
Loud and clear, I'm afraid. But don't worry. I know you better than you know yourself sometimes. Real's smile was triumphant as he began to wheel a small car across the room. Wait, is that one of the book carts? When did you manage to...
こんなこともあろうかと。じゃっじゃーん
I thought this might happen, so... Ta-da! There was a cloth covering the cart, and Real lifted it away with a dramatic flourish. Oh, wow. They were fresh... Here we go with the words. Truffade, oozing with cheese, rose-shaped pastries, candied fruits, apple, big nets, honey cakes, and more. They were all foods I was used to seeing at festivals, but I'd never been offered so many of them at once before.
俺の昼食も兼ねてるんだけど、買いすぎて困ってたんだよね。
It's lunchtime for me too, but I kind of brought too much. I didn't know what to do with it all.
君がもりもり食べてくれると嬉しい。
So, I was hoping you would share it with me, so it doesn't go to waste. Well, if you're gonna offer, I'm not gonna say no. Thanks, Rio. You're a lifesaver. He handed me one of the rose-shaped pastries, and as soon as I bit into it, I was beaming at him. This is so good! Although, this is all festival food, right? Is there a festival today or something?
うん。今日はロードライト王国の建国記念日だからね。
You bet there is. Don't tell me you forgot. It's the... Rhodolite? Right? Rhodolite? Rhodolite Foundation Day today? Huh.
今年も露店がたくさん出てるよ。
You should see all the street stalls they have this year. There's way more than last year. Really? Are there any stalls I should be visiting? When do I get off of work? I want to go. Rio stuffed the last of an apple. Big net into his mouth. His expression brightened as he clapped his hands together.
そうそう。古書の露店があったよ。
That's right, there is. I saw a secondhand book stall. What? Really?
うん。たまたま本を扱う旅商人が来てるんじゃないかな。
Sucked into a book? Because honestly, that's a dream of mine. To get sucked into a book. Yep. You know we've got dream. That's a fantasy of mine. Yep, you know we get traveling salesmen coming through now and again. I bet they're taking advantage of the festival. Damn. I really want to go check it out. I bet there'd be tons of books I haven't read too. But if I leave the store...
いってらっしゃい。
Off you go, Lauren. Go and have some fun. What?
俺が店番しとくよ。
Do you know how to use the cash register? You don't have a, you don't, how you gonna open the cash register? You went in the system? At my job, we have fingerprints. I'll take care of the store while you're gone. Really? Are you sure?
俺を何だと思ってるの？君の未来の旦那様だよ。
That's a big assumption. You've got competition. Just who do you think I am? I'm your future husband. And I have to make sure you're always happy. In your dreams, Rio. But thanks. I really appreciate it.
俺はハグでいい。
You could thank me with a hug. Not when you ask for it. How about a high five? He'd been holding out his arms hopefully, but at my words, he lifted one hand higher than the other, and I slapped it cheerfully. I won't be long, I promise. And I'll bring you back a present too.
はーい。
Okay, have fun. Boy, I ain't never coming back.
ほんと、かわいいな。悪い男がつかなきゃいいけど。
I just hope that sweet smile doesn't attract any undesirables. I thought I heard him murmur the words under his breath as I was leaving, but I decided to pretend I hadn't. Lauren, it's always good to see you. Here, let me give you this rose hair clip to celebrate Foundation Day. Wow, really? Thanks, it's gorgeous. I'll wear it with pride and tell everyone where I got it. Lauren, everybody loves me here. Everybody knows me. Lauren, I bet you love our brooches too. Here, this one's for you. But don't tell anyone it was a gift. Are you sure? Thank you so much. I love it. I was already carrying an armful of books I bought, and I was struggling to figure out what to do with all the gifts. But I was grateful for the kindness of the stall owners, and I thanked each one of them with a bright smile before moving on. As I made my way down the street, I noticed banners everywhere, proudly proclaiming Rhodolight's Kingdom, the Kingdom of Roses. We're in a kingdom? Okay. Sometimes I get caught up in my books that I forget to pay attention to the real world, but I love it here. Roses influence our traditional arts and crafts, our architecture, and even the palace in the distance was surrounded by them. A deep breath brought me the familiar. Oh, okay. I get it now. We're not going to be taken to a different time like the other ones. We're just going to meet royalty. A deep breath brought me the familiar sweet smell of roses in bloom, and I smiled, glad all over again to be a citizen. And now that I've got new books, I should find something nice for Rio to thank him. I wonder what he'd like. Watch where you're going, you little brat. Huh? The gruff, angry yell was so out of place that I stopped and turned to look, along with everyone around me. My gaze was immediately drawn to a red-faced man towering over a young boy who was sprawled on the road at his feet. Aw, don't cry. What are you doing, huh? Ain't you gonna apologize? Well, not good. The drunken man raised a fist, threatening, and I dashed forward, putting myself between him and the young boy. And what do you want? What on earth are you doing? He's just a little boy. Shut up. It ain't got nothing to do with you. He raised his fist again, and suddenly was flying straight towards my face. I wasn't about to abandon this young boy, and I jerked my arms up to block his attack. My books tumbled to the ground. Almost without thinking, I squeezed my eyes shut, bracing for the blow. Hit me. Hang on, I'll sue. Hang on. Wasn't that supposed to hurt? I could have took it. I would have ate that. That's enough of that. Dang, they really stuck up. Stepped up. They really stepped up the graphics. That's amazing. It was a voice I'd never heard before, but it had a compelling tone to it that made me open my eyes. The drunkard's fist hovered in the air, caught in the powerful grip of a tall, muscular man who stood behind him.
騒ぐなら俺が相手になるがどうする?
Okay, okay. If you really want to kick up a fuss, I'll take you on. What do you say? Okay. So we have Rio. We have this dude. Let's meet somebody else. I got time.
騒ぐなら俺が相手になるがどうする
Button up your shirt. It's distracting. The man's amber gaze moved towards me, and I caught my breath as our eyes met. There was something about him that was larger than life, and the streets grew quiet around him as all eyes were drawn to him. Whoa, I've never seen anyone with so much presence. It's like you dominate the scene just by existing. His gaze swept the crowd, the gaze of a predator looking for his next meal, and nobody wanted to meet it. He was clearly not someone you want to pick a fight with, and the tension in the air told me that everyone else had sensed it too. Or at least, almost everybody. You want to fight me? Yeah, let's do it.
へえ息がいいな
You've got spirit. I'll give you that. Wait, please. Can't we find a peaceful way to resolve? Shut up. I don't like that. Punch him. No. My heart stopped completely for a moment, as the drunkard kicked angrily at my fallen books. Dang, sending several of them flying. Girl, throw a punch. Throw the first punch, actually. I watched in horror as they soared through the air, pages flapping wildly before landing in the middle of the street. Of course, it had to be right as someone was riding a horse straight towards them.
ほう
Okay, another person. Come a little closer. It was a majestic white horse, but it was a rider who caught my attention, staring at the books as he reined his horse in. Oh great, now we have the attention of two men who don't look like they should ever be messed with.
無礼者は貴様か
Not me. He kicked my books. Who would be so insolent? Was it you? His gaze was as cold as ice, and something ruthless glittered deep within, like a tiger catching sight of its prey. He wasn't even looking at me, yet I was afraid to move, afraid even the slightest twitch would bring death pouncing down on me. Wait a minute. That crest on your saddle. Oh no. You're a member of the royal family, aren't you? Huh? Who the hell do you think you are? Stop sneering at me. The drunkard's face was flushed as he began stomping on my books. But it was, dang, why are you taking out my books? But it was the cruelty in the other man's eyes that filled me dread. Whatever.
低俗な余興に付き合うつもりはなかったがこれもまた祝祭の一興か
I hadn't intended to participate in such a vulgar sideshow, but perhaps this is how one finds amusement at a festival? No? Wait. Okay. The babble of the festival around me seemed to fade into silence as the man began to draw his sword from the shelf of his hip. You can't be serious. Are you really gonna kill him? Over this? Sunlight gleamed off the blade, almost blinding me, and then I moved. That's enough! Put yourself together. What? The sword was still only half free of its sheath when I reached the drunkard, slapping him across the face so hard my hand hurt. I could feel people staring at me. Lots of people. But most of all, I could feel the gaze of two startled predators. What was that for? You need to calm down. Or do you want to get yourself killed over this? What are you... I glared at him, gesturing discreetly at the crest on the blond man's saddle, and one glance drained all the color from his face. It was clear that I had finally gone through to him, and I breathed a quick sigh of relief before turning towards the man on the horseback. I'm very sorry if we caused you any trouble. I hope you can find some way to forgive and forget this incident. I lifted my skirt in a curtsy, wishing I had a better idea of how to address royalty, but it wasn't like I ever had the chance. Don't laugh at me. I'll beat you. Suddenly, the golden-eyed man burst out laughing, a loud, refreshing sound that cut straight through the tension. I was so wound up I nearly jumped out of my skin, but I could feel the mood in the air lightening immediately.
安心しろ。こいつはこんなことで人殺すような強量な男じゃねえよ。
Y'all know each other? Don't worry. He's not so petty that he actually kills someone over something like this. What?
今日が覚めた。
I tire of this.
シュバリエ、遊びはおしまいか？
Are you done playing chevalier? Another well-dressed young man appeared, shrugging some. Their outfits are nice. Another well-dressed young man appeared, shrugging smoothly as he reined in his chestnut horse next to the white one.
ああ、時間を無駄にした。
Oh, his name's Chevalier. Chevalier. Yes, this was a waste of my time. We're saved, I think. So that's Rio. Dude who first helped Chevalier and this purple guy. So that's 4 people. The tension began to seep out of me until I realized the man's ice blue gaze was focused on my books, strewn across the ground.
その本は貴様のものか？
They sure are. Disrespectful. Are those books yours? Yes. He fell silent again, still staring intently at my books. My breath hitched in my throat as his eyes narrowed. What am I missing here? Are books sacred to the royal family or something? His gaze moved suddenly from the books to me, pinning me to the spot, and I only distantly heard the man next to him speak.
なんだ。今度は口説くのか？
No, I need somebody to help me pick up my books, please. What now? Don't tell me you're in the mood for romance.
女に口説くほどの価値はないが。
Romance is worthless, but... His sword moved in sudden fluid motion. Next thing I knew, the tip of it was hovering just shy of my throat. Boy, I ain't playing with you. What you want? But why? What'd I do? Get that out of my face. I held absolutely still. I can't even read. Why do you do that? I need someone to help me pick up my books, not kill me. I held absolutely still, not even daring to breathe, as he used the flat of the blade to tilt my chin up, forcing me to look at him.
それらの本は別だ。貴様の体よりも価値がある。重々覚えておけ。
Boy, I'm trying to pick up my books. You're holding me back. Those books are different. They're worth more than you are. You do well to remember that, okay? I want to ask what the hell's wrong with you, but I know better than to question royalty. I give a faint nod, not daring to shift my head too much. And the blade moved away from my throat at last. Boy, you are weird. I watched in stunned silence as he shelved his sword and took up his reins again, urging his horse onward. The man astride the chestnut horse watched him for a moment, before nudging his own horse gently with his calves. As he rode away, I saw his gaze move towards me, and I was startled by the bright amusement glittering of those gold eyes. The second they were both gone, I felt the tension inside me unravel all at once, and I took a great gasping breath. I thought this was going to end up really, really badly, and I'm so glad we're all still alive. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the drunkard sinking weakly to the ground, but I ignored him and turned to face the other man. Thank you so much for helping us. We're indebted to you. Would you mind if I ask your name?
レオンだ。あと、敬語じゃなくていい。
It's Leon. You don't need to be all formal with me. Well, thank you, Leon. Do you know that guy? The one on the white horse?
ああ、まあそんなに話したことはねえけどな。
Yeah, but we've never really talked that much. Leon bent over as he spoke, and I belatedly realized he was gathering up my fallen books and the gifts I'd been. See, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. Some help. He's already number one. Leon? He's already number one. Oh, thank you. They're a little scuffed, but nothing seems torn or damaged. And a good thing, too. I spent way too much money on these.
お前、本好きなんだな。
You really like books, huh? I love them. They're usually way more interesting than the real world. But right now, I took my books under my arm and knelt down next to the young boy. And Leon crouched at my side.
チビ、泣き止んだか？
Hey, Pipsqueak. You okay? Aww.
迷子か。なら、俺と来い。
You're lost, huh? Come with me then. Can you find my mama?
ああ、俺が探してやるよ。
Sure can. Let's go find her together. Leon's smile was like warm sunshine as he reached down and lifted the boy up, setting him on his shoulders. Wow. I don't know what to say. You're like an entirely different person now. The stalking lion was gone. His predatory gaze was friendly and almost sweet somehow, and his gentle smile made my heart skip a beat. Miss? Thank you for helping me. You're welcome. I'm really glad you're okay.
お前もな。じゃあ、行くか。
Same goes for you. Now come on, Pipsqueak. Let's go. Oh, hang on. But before I could offer to help them search, Leon was striding away through the crowd, his hand raised in a casual wave. You scared me a bit at first. Okay, a lot. But now I feel like I read you wrong. You're actually really nice. I'll have to thank you properly if I ever run into you again. And you sure do stand out in the crowd, so you'll be hard to miss. I watched until they were out of sight, and then turned away, hugging my books to my chest as I made my way through the crowds. Meanwhile...
見つけましたよ。
Who the heck are you? You look like a dark magician mage. At last I found you. Hello? Okay, we're done. Yeah, safe to say, Leon won my heart already. I don't know how many, I have no idea how many, characters there are to choose from, but Leon is number one right now. He is. The only one who helped me pick up my books. That's all I wanted. The other guy freaking put a sword to my neck. Over some books? My books? You gonna kill me over my books? That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on my social media. It's all in the description below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.